Lock your doors, put your families in the basement, load your guns because there is a crisis afoot.
Why you want people to get so aggressive though? Like why they got to get so aggressive? Load your guns.
Well, it's a crisis. I don't know your definition of a crisis. Now, this is a crisis, more specifically in New York City. And this is a crisis that's been determined by the Board of Health. Why would I be telling you to lock your doors, get your kids in the basement, and load your guns? Well, apparently, racism has been officially declared a public health crisis. Now,
Is that what they're calling it today? Okay.
should we thank the Board of Health for finally,
For finally recognizing this problem.
I mean, like we did it. What? Huh?
They deemed it a public health crisis. Unfortunately, I don't remember seeing anything about what they're going to do about it. But yeah, that's the good.
Who is lumped up in this? Like
I
who?
think they're saying it's because of the mental and the physical effects that racism can have on the victims of it is why they're deeming it a health crisis.
So what happens now? So wait a second. So this is a health crisis, right?
I'm
I know
trying to help you, New York. I'm really trying to help you here.
I know certain employers, they have benefits and things like you could like take time off, mental health, things like that, short-term disability. So if you are dealing with racism on a regular basis outside of work, can you now file for something through your employer where you could take some time off because you're going like, I'm trying to because you brought it, you made a great point. Great, it's a national, rather a health crisis. What are you going to do about it? What is
Right.
being done about it? I'm
Right.
I'm at a loss here.
Okay, let's stop talking about this like it's something that makes sense. And let's just talk about it like for real now, for real. And how absurd it is. You know what I'm saying? They want to justify this as a public. Racism has been going on for forever. You want to talk about the mental and physical effects, also been going on forever. New York, you didn't have to deem this a public health crisis, especially right now. Especially right now. It's not something that we needed you to do, you know. I'm not the spokesperson of all the black people. You're gonna have to speak to Dog the Bounty Hunter, who apparently got his black card from the brothers in jail who lead the black tribe. You're gonna have to speak to them because I don't know any of them. But I could tell you this on my behalf. On my behalf, you putting a title on this, appreciated, but also incredibly unnecessary. Leave it alone. Just let it be. Let us handle it. We don't need you to deem it a public health thing because it's more than just health. I don't understand how we want to categorize this thing as just a health thing. It's something that goes on all over the place, and it deals with more than just the mental and the physical.
And I got a really quick question for you. Did you know that racism was a crisis? Is this news to you?
That is a health crisis, apparently.
Yes or no? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, two guys doing a podcast. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We
Mhm.
are on TikTok. And we're
Ah,
even on the platform that your mom and your grandma frequent. Yes, we are even on Facebook.
yes.
I don't know if we're going to be joining one of the newer platforms that's going to be coming out, though. Donald Trump, after being banned from Twitter, he's starting up his own social media platform. Now, what's crazy is his tech company, because of the release of this platform, his company's already been valued at $1.7 billion. And apparently, like the pre-orders for this app, it's like through the roof. To be clear,
How? How?
to be clear, I am not going to say the name of the app because F Donald Trump. But how, you ask? I think the better question is why? And I have a great answer for that. If you like, making racist remarks with impunity, if you like insulting women, grabbing them by the you know what, if you're a Republican, not all Republicans, this is going to be your new home. That's how. Excuse me, that's why. And how? Well, I mean, it's Donald Trump. All he's got to do is stick his name on it. There's idiots everywhere that'll buy something that has his name on it. You know what I mean? But
so they're marketing this as something that is pretty much going to give you the free speech that you can't get on Twitter and Facebook and all these other places is
no,
what
no,
they're
no, no,
trying
no,
to do.
no. Say it accurately. Because you have free speech on Facebook and Twitter, etc. They're marketing this as this is where you can get the hate speech. The hate speech. Okay, that's what this community is going to be about. If you follow Donald Trump on Twitter, or if you've even just seen any of his tweets, you know what he's about. They locked him off Twitter for a reason.
What a great world it is to be when you are a white man in this world, right? Think about all the things that this guy has done publicly, and all the things that this man has said and that we've seen. And people are still willing to do business with him to the point where he can start a company and it could be valued at $1.7 billion already. Name the black man who does that, please. Name him.
Can't.
Anybody?
Can't.
Hey, listen. People who are listening right now, people who are watching, people who are, listen. I want you to think about somebody who is not white, who could do all the things that Donald Trump has done and said, including the presidency and all the riots that he incited, and they're a different color now. Name that person a different color that could get away with all those things and be having a business like this. Just leave it in the comments.
I'll wait. And again, and you make a great point about Trump being who he is, or rather, his skin color, and that's fine. But really, you have to remember the industry that he is, laser focusing his business towards. And the industry is racism. Racism is extremely profitable. There are lots of people who are racist. By the way, there are lots of people who are racist in secret. And isn't social media just known for people spouting off with complete immunity as far as they're able to hide their faces? So now you mean to tell me you're going to give me a platform where I can be as racist as I want and I don't have to worry about it? Oh, and by the way, the other people that are on that platform, they're just as racist as I am. Sign me up. Oh, wait a second. And the owner of the app is Donald Trump? Oh, come on. I'll take out my checkbook right now.
You make a solid point. Anybody that's willing to do business with Donald Trump at this point has to be like-minded. They have to have the same thinking as Donald Trump and know his intentions, because why else would you go into business with this person? So any company that's willing to go public as though they're partners with this person and spokespersons or whatever it is you want to be associated with him, you have to think that those people working with him at this point, knowing who he is, have the same type of thinking. And wow, what a world where we can build a team of those people with that type of thinking.
Build a team. You could build a country. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Very simple question. Are you subscribing to this app? All right, let's keep it rocking.
I love America, man.
Netflix workers stage a walkout over Dave Chappelle's transgender comments. A group of employees calling themselves Team Trans. I've always said it's about dialogue. It's about having a conversation. They have every right to walk out. They have every right to protest. They have every right to be mad. You just can't call for canceling someone. You do that, you're telling them to shut the F up. No conversation. And there's got to be dialogue. To the point, even Dave Chappelle agrees with what I'm saying. Dave Chappelle heard that Netflix was staging a walkout because of his stand-up special. You know what Chappelle said? Look, man, let's sit down. I'm willing to talk to these people. I may have missed it. I work, father, husband. I don't see everything. But I don't think I've seen any of these people who have come for Chappelle say, hey, I think we need to have a talk because there might be something that you're missing. I love you, Chappelle. Let's talk because you're doing something that is affecting this community and I don't think you know it. So because
hold on. Here's the thing. I have to cut you off right there because there was somebody. Apparently the organizer of this walkout, or one of the organizers of this walkout, I believe her name Mary Allen Preston, transgender herself, himself. She said that she invited Dave Chappelle to have a conversation.
Okay.
And of course,
okay, good.
She invited Dave Chappelle, but of course, Dave Chappelle either didn't respond or wasn't able to show up. The man has a schedule. The man has a schedule. So I guess he wasn't able to show up or whatever. And because of that, she said, now because we can't have the conversation with Dave, we have to go after Netflix, which is why the protest was happening. Was her explanation for the protest.
Okay,
great,
dope. That's dope.
Yeah, we got to get that out
there. That's dope. But I don't see any of the other people trying to have the conversation.
Right.
But I'm glad that she initiated that, because
at least she reached out.
Yeah.
A little premature with the protest. Possibly a little aggressive. I feel it is a little bit aggressive.
I don't think so.
If you want to ask me personally, I think it's a little aggressive. I think it's a little bit much. We're talking about a comedy special right now. I want you to think about some of the other things that have been protested for most recently. Just think about it. Just think about the things that have been protested for. Indigenous families. There's George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. There's many other injustices, people losing lives pretty much in mass or either single person. Violence has occurred. Now we're protesting a comedic special, dog. The community, I don't even feel like they were being attacked. Dave Chappelle was explaining his life experiences with people who are transgender. Those are his experiences. That's what he's supposed to talk about. That's the freedoms that we have. Those same freedoms allow people in this community to live the lives that they want to live. Those exact same freedoms that allow Dave Chappelle to be on stage allow you to walk out and express your sexuality freely as well. Once we start taking away his freedoms, just because you don't agree with it, because it's not hate speech. It's not. Once you don't agree with it, once we start taking them, then can we start taking away things from you now? I don't want to see men dressed up like women on TV. Can we start taking that off the TV, please? Let's protest. You feel what I'm saying, though?
Nigga, they cancel your ass real quick.
No, but you feel what I'm saying, though, nigga? You feel what I'm saying, though, right?
I understand what you're saying, brother.
Okay. I don't know why you have to respond to me like that, but yeah, okay, whatever, man.
Listen, at the end of the day, I get what you're saying. You think it's an aggressive reaction, but you also have to remember the people that you're dealing with. I'm not talking about the trans community. I'm talking about white people. They protested against Tupac. They protested against NWA. They protested against Slim Shady, Brain Dead, like Jim Grady. Listen, what I'm trying to say is the reason why they protest against the people that I just named and people like Chappelle is because the reasons you just listed, violence, that's a really good reason to protest. But that's not the only way to damage a community, right? So they started protesting against NWA because white people started liking it. All the little white kids, they're like, I love this gangster shit, mom. And white parents in suburbia, they were not a fan of that. They did the same thing with Eminem. All I'm saying is you have to keep in mind the people that you're dealing with. So they'll protest for anything, right? So again, I'm not trying to diminish this walkout. They have the right to do it, my opinion.
I am because like I said, it's silly.
Do you feel the walkout? Yes or no? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to tell you there's more silly things than this. I'm talking about a woman trying to sue Kellogg's for $5 million because there wasn't enough strawberries in her Pop-Tarts. They said the branding is misleading.
How great is it? How great is it that somebody is mad at Pop-Tarts? And the reason that she said is because they don't add enough berries to the point where you can get the nutritional benefits of the berry, is what she said.
You know what? You explain it. You go to the gym more than I do. You explain it to them. Go ahead.
Who the fuck is eating Pop-Tarts for healthy reasons? Nobody. Not one person on this earth says, you know what? I need myself a nice healthy breakfast. I'm gonna have some plain Greek yogurt with some blueberries. I'm gonna have some oats on top of that, and I'm gonna crumble some Pop-Tarts.
Come on, man.
No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't. And if it does, they're on a different show. They're on TLC. They're on the TLC show.
Well, I mean, if you're going to court, if you're going the legal route for this, and your case is based on nutritional value and you yourself are not like a doctor or a nutritionist, you need to have like an expert witness to actually speak to that. I want to know what doctor, what nutritionist was like, yeah, you're right. This does make sense. Who did you get? Because that person should be fired immediately. Listen, let me ask you a question, okay?
Is it how many
Um,
points is a Pop Tart in Weight Watchers?
no.
I
My
wonder how. I
question
wonder how many points it is
my,
though.
my my question to you is, you like basketball, right? You know how basketball works, you know the rules.
Yep, yep, yep.
When you're at the free throw line, what do you got to do?
You gotta focus. You gotta block everybody out and hit the shot.
You got to shoot your shot. She's got the ball. She's at the free throw line. She's shooting her shot. Now, she's Shaq at the free throw line with this one. She gonna miss, but she's shooting her shot. Viewing
Dog,
public,
$5 million in damages. What? Listen, you got to break down. I want to see how they broke down $5 million in damages. What the hell in her life got damaged to that level?
absolutely nothing. Because she was, you know what? I
It's her
remember.
waistline.
No,
It's her waistline. You know it is. Stop. You just don't avoid it. Her
yeah,
waistline got damaged.
let me tell you something. The
And
last
she's mad
podcast, I said that I'm a positive person, and you trying to pull me back.
because you capping, dog. You
You
capping
trying to
all day
pull
when you
me.
say that
You
shit.
trying to pull me back.
Just you saying it enough time doesn't make it true. Okay, that's not
Yeah,
what makes it true.
yes, it does in my universe. Listen, viewing public, what is your breakfast regiment? Huh? You staying healthy? Me personally, I'm a honey nut Cheerios kind of guy. Love my honey nut Cheerios with some tea. What's your breakfast consist of?
Uh, Toaster strudel. No, I just wanted to do a competition of Pop Tarts. Nah, if I have breakfast, it's usually a quick little breakfast, some eggs, maybe some hot dogs, little boil up thing, little quick thing, get in, get out.
Your breakfast, I think, should be determined on what you're going to be doing immediately after. My job requires me to sit a lot, right? So I'm not going to have a massive breakfast if I'm just going to be sitting down,
Right.
have a little one,
I'm
two,
on
and
the
keep it
move.
going. This is
I'm
what
on
I'm
the move.
saying. There you go. This is why there's a farmer's breakfast. People, what are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, this case happened in America. No more international travel on all planes, trains, and boats for unvaccinated Canadians. And this is going to begin at the end of November. So, if you are a Canadian and you have family in the good old USA and you're unvaccinated, good luck with that. You'll be doing what we're doing right now, having a nice little Zoom call. And yeah, you guys have pieced it together. This is exactly what that passport looks like. What are your thoughts? I know you're getting the bootleg version of this.
There's another problem with this though, another issue, and of course it's where people, and it's something that I looked into, and it's just pretty much stopping Canadians from being able to travel. You're now telling us that if we're not vaccinated, that we're not able to leave the country, or we have to stay here pretty much. And I looked into the Charter of Rights, Section 6, for all those who want to know, it's mobility rights. And Section 6, Provision Little 1, Subsection 1, pretty much says every citizen of Canada has the right to enter, remain, and leave Canada. I will repeat that. Every citizen of Canada has the right to enter, remain, leave Canada. And that's at any time. The one thing about this that I'm failing to understand is that this section of Charter of Rights is protected. As a matter of fact, it's one of the privileged rights that is not subject to Section 33 of the Charter. Section 6 cannot be overcome by the enactment of a notwithstanding clause. Using a lot of big words here. What is a notwithstanding clause? A notwithstanding clause are certain things that the government, the legislator, can invoke to temporarily override certain parts of the charter. So there are certain parts of the charter based on the situation that the government can override. This section, however, the right to leave your country, is not one of those sections that they are allowed to override. So how is this able to be possible? How?
But I'm pretty sure that they are doing this legally. I'm pretty sure because you can't do this illegally because you're the government. And furthermore, when you talk about, oh, okay, I can't leave, I can't leave, I can't leave, let me tell you something, man. Top 5 was on the run for murder. They found him in the States. If he could get out of the country, you could get out of the country. You will
This is about to. Yeah.
just fine. Okay. I only feel bad for people who need to leave the country for like bereavement reasons, family emergencies, things like that.
Right.
I feel, sympathetic for them. You mentioned it earlier in a different pod. Oh, I can't go to the beach. I can't go to Cuba. Or I only got vaccinated because I want to go to the Dominican. All right. If you want to go to the Dominican so bad, I say Cuba and Dominican like they're the only places on the planet with beaches. If you want to go to one of these places so bad, go get vaccinated or pull a top 5 and sneak out the country. At the end of the day, I got mine. I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm playing.
This is the world that we're living in right now, man. And like I said before, I'm not vaccinated. I made that choice, so I'm not going to complain about not being able to travel. I can point out all the things that I think are unfair and all of that stuff, but I can't sit here and really complain because I made a decision, right? So I got to deal with the consequences.
You made a philosophical choice.
Okay, stop this. You see what you're doing right now, man? You see what you're doing right now?
Viewing public, I want to know what your thoughts are. You walking around with one of these in your wallet? Do you have anything planned in future that requires you to leave the country and you're not vaccinated? What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Do you want to
know what the loophole is? Do you want to know what the loophole is? I kept it a secret, but I want to know if you want to know what it is.
I don't need it. I have mine, but sure, go ahead. What is the loophole?
You can still travel by car. But the thing is, like, wherever you're traveling, the country has to be willing to let you into that country as well. So,
well, what's the only other country that you could travel to by car from Canada? From Canada.
It's the U.S.
And the U.S., well,
it's not letting you in unless you're double dosed.
There you go.
I tried. I just wanted to show you, but legally, they are still giving you an opportunity to leave Canada. This is the loophole the government is using. Yeah, there you go.
It's about as small as the Cheerios I have for breakfast. All right, you guys. Again, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not telling you what to do with your body, but I'm thinking about going to the Caribbean next year. How about you? Look, keeping it moving. Look, Toronto police employees face unpaid leave if not fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by November 30. They face unpaid leave if not fully vaccinated by November 30. Now, we've talked quite reckless against police officers. Lots of videos. So context is provided. We don't hate cops. But, to me, I just find this one interesting. Because if you're not vaccinated, get your ass home. Unpaid. Think about what you've done. Kill a nigga. Get your ass home. Paid vacation.
Yeah.
Have a great time.
Yeah, it shows you what's more important.
I'm very confused about this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very confused about this. I get it. It is a pandemic. It's, it impacts everyone. And, when black people, unarmed, innocent black people get murdered by police officers, it only impacts black people and you don't really care about us. So I do understand it from that point of view.
Do we agree? Do we disagree? Irrelevant. It's something that's happening right now and it's not going to stop happening, obviously, no matter how much we sit here and talk about it, because I want to go in and say all the points that I made before in the past videos and they don't have a right to choose. I finally realized that what I'm saying right now on this shit, it don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. Don't diddly, as Heavy D used to say.
I'm so glad you did that. Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Please, respectfully, help me try to understand how a police officer can get an unpaid suspension. You're a bad person. But then they murder an innocent, unarmed black person. Paid vacation. Enjoy your time off. Next one you kill We're going to make it a full year pay. You understand what I'm saying? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's a sick, sick place. The Atlanta City Council officially dubbed October 20 as Lil Nas X Day, honoring the industry baby rapper for his impact on the LGBTQ community. He has made a considerable impact on the LGBTQ community by reshaping how society accepts the community and the artists within that community, by empowering others to break barriers and be more open, expressive, and personal through their musical art. Now, I'm super happy for him. I think this is amazing because not now, but you can't deny that there was a time when this community was very, very marginalized, especially in the music industry. So here comes Lil Nas X doing any and everything, doing the most, but definitely not hiding who he is. Ultimately showing people in his community that you can be successful in this industry just being yourself. Because don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I believe it was Bun B who was speaking on rappers in the South, namely, of course, Atlanta. And boy, oh boy, did he have some stories about your favorite rappers being in the closet. So Lil Nas X has basically paved the way to say you could be who you are all the way. Because trust me, you ain't going to do more than me. I've done the most. So you could be who you are and be accepted and be successful. So I'm congratulating him for this one. I'm giving him his flowers 100%. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna leave this to the people that are here, that are watching, that are listening right now. I have a question for y'all because I know how I feel. I want to see how everybody else feels, and I hope enough people actually watch one of our Lil Nas X videos to actually do a justified vote, because I don't feel like anybody really cares about this guy except for Atlanta. Apparently, they gave him a whole day. But let me get to my question, because I'm getting off topic here because of my anger and my hatred for him. I want to know from all the people listening and everybody watching, simple question. Do you fuck with Lil Nas X? Yes or no? I just want to see how many people do and how many people don't, just to see if I'm crazy out here, because I don't, on a heavy level, on a major scale. And it has nothing to do with his sexuality or how he likes to flaunt it or any of that. Because you know what? One of my favorite celebrities all time, RuPaul. Love her. Great. Cross-dresser from time before it was popular. One of my favorites because she was outspoken, dressed the way she want to do what she want to do, and live her best life. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? But Lil Nas X takes it to a level that I just can't respect anymore. It's to where I feel like he's willing to do anything, and then he adds on his sexuality to it to kind of play on two different fields, right? I'm the gay troll. So now you're going to pay attention to me. I'm going to get your attention. And it's by any means necessary. And that's what I don't like. I like people who have their limits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I want to put Satan on my shoes. We're going to pass with the 666. You know what I mean? I might want to cut this kiss down to a little bit shorter time.
Do you guys mess with Lil Nas X or not? And by the way, that question is aimed at our audience. And I think it's a fair one because we talk about him quite frequently. Not a lot, but enough to where my co-host, the homie, gets pretty pissed. So, viewing public, we work for you. Yes or no? You like him or you don't? Because if you don't, we're just going to stop talking about him.
Please, I'm begging you guys, if you don't like him, please leave it in the comments so we never have to talk about. I'm dead ass, yo. So we never have to talk about this guy again, man.
We know.
If you do, then I will gladly say, you know what? You like the content, we're gonna keep making it. You guys like me pissed off? Cool. We make the content. I'll do it.
Well, I want to know if you're pissed off enough to run up in a North York home, swinging an axe to steal jewelry, and then stay there long enough to take a shower.
I mean, what are my plans after? What are you laughing for? What am I doing after?
I mean, I guess it's a fair question.
Is there something important happened after? Maybe I needed the jewelry to add on to my outfit because I'm going somewhere.
And of course, you got to take a shower. You need a fresh.
Bro, you don't know what the girl looks like. The girl could be dope, bro. You don't know. There's motives for everything. Okay, I
Yo,
don't know the full story.
this man ran up in a North York home with an axe.
Okay, so clearly doesn't have a lot of money.
Who's breaking into a home with an axe? Okay,
Like
right?
I said, like I said.
Okay. Steals jewelry, money. Apparently, he was there for hours, decided to take a shower, and then left. He's still like people, the cops are still looking for him. Now,
Right.
that story's crazy. But I mean, the larger question is,
Did he think that showering was getting rid of his DNA? Is that why he showered? That's the larger question.
That's what came to my mind.
That's the larger question, because you know some dumbasses gonna think that instead of realizing that you're just really washing all your DNA into the drain where it can sit nicely.
Let's also not forget there's DNA in whatever room you were in and whatever you touch. But anyways, so here's what I'm thinking to myself. This is a dumb plan. Like you said, guy had an axe, probably had no money. This is in North York. This is in Canada. This is in Ontario. We have welfare.
Sounds like somebody from North York.
What could push a man to this level? You have options. I talked to drug dealers before, and I'm like, yo, here's welfare and, social. They're like, yo, F that. I'm going to sell what I got to sell, make that in a day. That's what they decided to do. This guy is not selling drugs, apparently. He decided to break into a home with an axe. So his choice was risk his freedom, go on welfare.
Right.
What drove this man to not just go in a welfare line versus breaking into a home with it? What if people were there? He had an axe. What if people were there?
The axe might have been for the people. I'm pretty sure he took that into account. Well, I don't know.
I guess I'm trying to understand. Like,
I want to believe that he's smart enough to have scouted out the house, but I mean, listen to the story, So
yeah, I'm trying to understand the temperature of our city right now for just survival. Just survival, because not everybody has the luxury of working. People lost their jobs because of the COVID situation. Like, so I'm trying to understand, like, are we on the brink? Like, this guy get pushed to the edge? Like, who would do this?
Whoa. Listen, it definitely, it's when you're at this level and this level of desperation, it's definitely something that's hard to understand, hard to fathom. And we don't have a lot of people, luckily, in our city. Like, we have homeless people. We definitely have people living below but we don't have it in the numbers that some of these other third world countries have, where something like this is a regular everyday occurrence. Like, this is happening every day to somebody, to the point where in Jamaica, the houses, you got to have bars on your windows. They don't have the nice little screen doors for bugs. It's full on gated doors.
Yeah.
On top of your actual windows. Those aren't the windows. It's like on top of your actual windows. And that's just regular.
And can I just clarify that? Because some people here will be like, well, I have a nice house. I don't want my house to get broken. No, that's even the tiny little shanties.
That's every single house.
Yes.
That's every house is built like that. It's just the standard, because that's what you're trying to avoid. People are on the level of desperation, hunger, poverty, to the point where they will break into your house if they see an opportunity. It's not, you don't leave your doors unlocked there. It's not one of them things. It's not one of those places.
Okay. I love where you're going with that. And I want you to springboard off this.
Okay.
They catch the guy. Thank you. They catch him. He has no history. He doesn't have a criminal history. Why did you do it? For all the reasons you just spoke to. Desperate. What do they do with this guy now? Criminally charged? Do they try to help him? What do they do?
You know what's funny about that? That all depends on a lot of factors. The officer that arrests him, the attorney that he gets, the judge that he gets, the prison that he ends up going to. All of those things play factors, because I tell you, you can go down the wrong path where you meet a bunch of characters who just don't give a fuck, and all they see is a criminal, and they treat you as such, where you're, you know what I mean? It's not repairable. And then you meet some people who believe that the correctional system is for just that, corrections, reparations, and that people make mistakes sometimes and that they can be fixed. And when I say fixed, they can be made to believe that they can live a life without crime and be successful, because that's what the mentality of a lot of these criminals are. You don't understand. When you get into this stuff, it's to be cool first. It's either to get money or to be cool. It's one of the two reasons. You know what I'm saying? Your family might be part of it. And when you get into it and then you get arrested that first time, you might go there and you might feel bad. But while you're in there, you're surrounded by criminals who are teaching you to become a better criminal. So when you now leave this jail, you have the mentality that now, okay, I got the lessons. Let me go back to what I know instead of going the hard route, because now I have a criminal record and trying to find a job, right? It's harder to get a job when you have to check that little box that says, you know, I've been convicted of a crime. We all know the box on the application.
This is what I'm saying.
So when you put people in that position and then you get mad at them for retaliation when they can't find a way out, they go back to what the fuck they know, man. It's as simple as that.
Viewing public, I ask you this question. You own a shop. Guy, girl comes in, tries to steal a loaf of bread. You catch the person on the way out. What are you doing, man? You can't steal from me. I got bills to pay. I'm calling the cops. The response from the guy or girl, I have a starving family. What do you do to that person? They're just trying to feed their family and themselves.
Right.
You lock them up, throw away the key, or you help them out. So I use that scenario and I apply it to the cops. We don't know this person. He could be a violent criminal. We don't know. But we also don't know if he's just someone trying to, again, put some food in his stomach.
Hey, let me just give a quick thing to employers out there, because I have a lot of family and a lot of friends who have criminal records and have this problem where they have trouble getting jobs. So they just go back to what they know and just the cycle just keeps continuing. If you are hesitant to hire somebody because of a criminal record, listen, I understand. I get it. I'm with you 100%, right? Obviously, they committed a crime, and depending on the crime, it could be various things. You know what I mean? If you want to delve into their background, you can do that. But if you're questionable about somebody's character, what it is, just take the time. And I know it might cost you more money, but you'll feel greater about it after. Just give them more interviews if you have to do that. Or tell them that, listen, because of your criminal record, I'm going to have to delve a little bit more into your background. A lot of the people, especially my family members who are looking for jobs, do not care if you want to look into their background, because they're doing everything they can to change their lives around in order to procure a job. So if you say to them, listen, this is what I got to do, it's going to be a lot more than I do for a regular person. Of course, you're going to get that one or two guys who's an asshole, who's like, yeah, well, you know what, blah, blah, blah. But that's because they're still doing bad shit. That's why they don't want you to look into it. If somebody says, yes, go ahead, look into my shit, come check out where I live, blah, 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 blah. You can call references and all that stuff. If somebody does that, put a little bit of faith and stop putting so much heavy attention on the little check mark on the box. That's all I'm saying.
Great point. Viewing public, leave it in the comments. What are your thoughts? Excellent point. I wish more employers would do that.
You gotta live it. You gotta live it. That's the problem. A lot of people are watching it from the outside and they don't live it. So because they're not feeling it personally, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to pay attention to it. But me living somebody personally, you can see it, the passion right now, that it really bothers me, bro. It really bothers me, especially see my family members go back down that same fucking road, dog.
Well, it
could have been me. It could have been me.
It's just a humane thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Look. Haiti gang leader threatens to kill all kidnapped missionaries, including one from Ontario. 400 Mawozo gang that police say is holding 17 members of kidnapped missionary groups is seen in a video released on Thursday, saying he's going to kill all of them if he doesn't get what he's demanding. He's demanding $1 million a person.
Oh my goodness.
He says I
thought it was just $1 million at first. I'm like, oh, pay that.
A person. And I quote, I swear by thunder, if I don't get what I'm asking for, I will put a bullet in all the heads of these Americans. Another quote, you guys make me cry, I cry water. I'm going to make you guys cry blood. Now, I want you to keep in mind that of the people captured, there's children. One of them, an 8-month-old baby.
Oh boy.
And this is a real situation. I'm not trying to downplay it, and I wish the best outcome for those who are actually captured. I hope they all get home safely. I'm praying for you guys. But this reminded me of like Captain Phillips. What are these guys gonna do when they get the like? You're not gonna get this money, and everybody's just gonna forget about it. You're gonna
It's not
die.
even forget about it. It's not even good. Countries don't negotiate with terrorists. That's well
There you
known.
go. There you go. So what are you saying when you say that? Are you saying that they're going to send in some people them and just wet up the kidnappers? Or are you saying, well, it sucks that these people got to go, but we're not negotiating with you. And if they have to die, they have to die. What are you saying? Please clarify.
Are any of them political figures that are captured right now?
They're missionaries. They're
Are
going. They
any
went
of
to
them
Haiti.
are any of
No,
them political figures?
no,
Are any of them important celebrities, influencers?
no,
Are any of them in the finance industry to the point where their death would cause a major economic collapse?
no. From what I know, no.
They're all dead. And I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to put that in a nice, soft, comforting way. But if this guy is serious and and it's like, if I don't get this money, this is what I'm going to do. And I guarantee you, Haitians don't play with that. Haitians don't play. If they say they're going to do something, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So if they're not willing to pay the money and the families don't have the money to pay for these people, it's looking like it's bad over there. But this is the thing. This is the thing. And this is not me victim blaming, because I've been accused of that so many times. But you have to understand the temperatures of the places that you're going to before you go there. You have to understand, even if you're going for good reasons, even if your intentions are great and you have good purposes, you have to understand the temperature and make sure that you put in certain precautions to protect yourself. Simple things such as bringing security with you. Simple things such as just making sure that where you stay is gated so that it can be protected properly. These are simple things. You can't roam around these places because you travel to them and you want to help out everybody and you see homeless people just randomly on the street corner, because that's how these people get captured, is when they stray from the areas that they're supposed to be at. There have to be places in Haiti that are safe. There has to be. There's places in all countries.
Sorry, hold on for a second. Full disclaimer, we don't know the full context of how they got captured, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Just making a very fair point, but we don't know the context.
I'm just assuming, but I you know what? Let me put it this way. I'm speaking as a Jamaican who knows how Jamaica is. And Jamaicans are violent, but I've heard about Haitians, and it's, I don't know if it's comparable, but it's pretty damn close. So that's why I say, when you stray in Jamaica, it's the same thing. When you stray from the resort or anywhere that you're supposed to stay at, bad things can happen.
Yeah, of course.
Day or night, right? There's places, though, that you can stay in these countries that are safe. They're designated safe. That's why they're there. So, I'm not saying that any of these people did any of these things, but you have to prepare yourself when you're going to these countries.
Well, look, man, I just think it's really tragic, because even if you're not a believer in God, you could even just be atheist, right? Just put yourself in a different scenario. Walking down the street, you just got paid, you feel good, about to go whatever. See a homeless person. Man, that's effed up, yo. See this person all the time. Always, let me go, give them a little something. You just want to help. You take out whatever you take out. Maybe you slip up, you take out the whole wallet. Should have just took out the bill or the coin. You took out the whole wallet. You look like food to that person. And all you trying to do is help. But what does that say? What's the larger message in that? Right? One hand is supposed to wash the other. You try to wash someone's hand, they cut your hand right off.
Gauge the temperature, man. You got to gauge the temperature. Even in those situations, man, you got to gauge the temperature, because what your intentions are super great. But that person that's sitting there might not have eaten for the last 5 days. They might not have showered. They might be high on some drugs. And you go and pull out your entire purse, and all they see is an opportunity for some credit cards and some cash. And it's nothing against you personally. It's, I got to eat. Simple as that. gauge the temperature. That's all.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? And I ask again, you don't have to be religious, just be human. Pray for all the parties involved. That's all I'm asking. Pray for the parties involved. There's a baby there. Man said he's going to make them cry blood. Just a prayer. That's all. Don't forget to like and subscribe additionally, man. Two Guys Doing a Pod. Deuces.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.